I don't know who your favorite authors are, but one of mine is hands down is John Holt. He's no longer with us on this planet, but he wrote a lot about homeschooling. In fact, they call him the father of modern homeschooling. But really, he wrote about passion-based learning. He was a longtime public educator that was frustrated that he couldn't do the things he felt were in the best interest of kids because of the system and how that prevented that. So I love this quote. It says, "We can best help children learn not by deciding what we think they should learn and thinking of all these ingenious ways to teach it to them, but by making the world, as far as we can, accessible to them, paying serious attention to what they do, answering their questions if they have any, and helping them explore the things they are most interested in." And I think that's the heartbeat of passion-based learning, and that is going to be the guiding rule that'll take us through teaching online. I want to provide a rich environment, get you to collaboratively create, to co-construct with me, to have us explore this topic together, to find out where our passions are, and then I want to not only make these ideas accessible to you and then let you kind of go through the rich beauty of all that's out there with teaching and learning online, but then answer your questions if you have any and help you explore things that you're most interested in. But one of the ways I know I can help you is to help you find your way around the course and the course space. So let me get this customized a little bit for you here. Here I have landed in the Community Hub. Now, what you're going to want to do when you first log in is you're going to want to go to PLP Community Hub. You can see it right here. Go to that and then join. You should have been sent a link to it, so it should let you in real easy. If you didn't know, you can just request to join, and we'll take care of that right away. Once you drop into this main Community Hub, you're going to see that this is a rich network of educators. Like if I click View All right here, you will see that there's about 3,000 people here with you, and these are people from all over the world that you can be learning with and growing with outside the course. So after the course is over, you'll still have access to these people if you want to, work with them. And in fact, we're getting ready to reinvent the Community Hub and invite a lot more people in to be able to use it for a community in and of itself. There will be a charge for that, but you won't be charged. You'll be grandfathered in because you're already here, and be able to have access to any of the community activities or events that we're going to be promoting. So yay for you, you're in, and it won't ever cost you anything. So as you look around this community, you can see that there are lots of things to do. Probably the most important part is the discussion, the forum, and you can see where people are posting questions. This person posted a question about the purpose of using Google Docs, and probably taking a course, and might have posted a discussion or an answer here in the main community rather than doing it in the course room. Other people, and I'm going to show you how to make sure that doesn't happen to you. Other people are introducing themselves. They're talking about ed tech camps, things like that. So you can see that there are blog posts, people blogging here within this community, and then also pointing to their own blogs elsewhere. Top discussions. You can follow the Twitter streams for PLP. So lots of things going on here that you can keep up with, videos, things like that. But what you typically will do is when you land, you'll want to go to our course space. And the way you do that is you go across the nav bar over here to e-courses, and then you're going to want to go to ours, which is Teaching Online. So it's real easy. That's how you get there. All right, here we are. We are in the Teaching Online e-course. If you haven't joined that, you'll see something that says request to join. I think it's up in this space here. Please do, and then I will approve you. Let me go look real quick and see if anybody's waiting. You won't see these management tools. I see them, but right here I'll get something that says that there's a pending account, and so far none of you have requested to join, so make sure that you do that today. That would be great. All right, and then it tells you a little bit about the course. The main thing you need to know is that it's licensed with Creative Commons. That means that you are welcome to take whatever you learn in this course, whatever you do with this course, and use it in any way you want to use it, as long as you don't try to make money off of it and you give attribution. Also, anything in here that you want to use, make sure that when you post it, you can remix it, you can do whatever you want with it. But when you remix it and you put it up, if it's been inspired by my work, please give the same share-alike license that I've given. In other words, you can't lock it down to all rights reserved if you're using my materials. But please do use my materials. I want to encourage you to do that. All right, so when you first get in the course, you're going to see that there's a welcome here. Gives my phone number, how you can get in touch with me, email. Skype is probably the best way, but you can follow me on Twitter. I pay attention to that too. And then any office hours, and I'll meet with you as much as you want to meet. So if you want to meet with me for 2 and 3 hours at a time every week, welcome to do that. Discuss any ideas that you want to discuss around teaching and learning online, and other things too if you're interested. But anyway, that's how you can get in touch with me. You can learn a little bit more about me here if you want to click on that and read the bio if those kind of things are important to you. This is the video about the course, gives a quick overview, and so I encourage you to watch that, please. You'll know a little bit more about the course. You can see here we're going to be going for 10 weeks. We're not going to have our first webinar until January 26th. Gives us a week to kind of go through the material and get to know it, own it, and then bring what we know to the very active, interactive webinar that we'll have. And then the webinars will be weekly on Mondays. They begin at 7 p.m. EST. That's New York time for those of you that are out of the country. I know in Australia they have an EST, so it gets pretty confusing. But you can look at New York time, and that way you can keep up with what we're doing. I do live in Virginia Beach, but New York is most known by most people, so did that. All right. This is the flip concept, which is how we do our e-courses. Take a look at it. In teaching online, it's a construct that you might want to get to know, and it'll tell you a little bit more about it. This video for navigating that I'm creating right now will go right here in navigating the space, and then it comes down to the weekly topics. Now, each week in the weekly topics, I will link to a what you should be doing. So every week when you come in, if you want to know what you should be doing, all you have to do is scroll to the weekly topics. Now, this content that's in this space right here will change. So, you know, as we're doing different things, you'll see this piece change. This is where you probably need to check every time you come in just to see what's going on and what's new that we're going to be working on. But the weekly topics will always stay. So let's take a look at what you should be doing. So if you click right here, you can see this first week. It says number 4 because it's the 4th document, but it's week 1. It'll tell you exactly what to expect, and there'll always be links to where you should go. So if you're confused, like, I don't know what to do, you go to where it says the weeks that we're studying, and you click on it, and there'll always be a document that tells you what to do. So if you have a tough time because you're used to taking online courses and course management systems, which don't really support building of relationships and building of community, which is why we've constructed it here inside this Ning space, this is how we're organizing it. We're organizing it where you'll always have, in the weekly topics, you'll always have a link that'll take you to anything you need to know. Now, when you're exploring, up here at the top are the pages, and that's where these things are linking. So, for instance, if you want to watch an archive of a webinar, or you want to get into the community and you can't remember where the link is, I'll be sending reminders, but let's say you can't find it. You can always get the link to the webinar right here. Let me open this page and show you. So here it is, number 1, webinars and links. So here's the archives if you want to watch one that's already happened. Here's to get you into our course, our webinar space. Here's to check your machine to make sure that it has all the juju it needs. And then this is our moderated practice link. So because you're going to be co-teaching, if you want to log in with a moderated link, you can log in with this and do your practicing. We'll be talking more about how that works when we have our first webinar. And then, of course, I just put the archives down here at the bottom to make it easy. You can always leave a comment and ask questions on any of these pages if you want some help or you don't understand something. You want to make me aware of maybe an error I've made, then that's all you have to do. This tells you a little bit more about graduate credit. This is the syllabus. So take some time this week to go through the syllabus, to take a look at it, find out exactly what you're going to be doing. If you want to take this for graduate credit, we're actually switching graduate credit over to the University of North Dakota. Right now we have it with North Dakota State University, but we're going to be switching it over with University of North Dakota, a different institution with a Tier 1 university. So if you'd like to get graduate credit for this course, you can. And so there'll be information on how to do that. Kristen Dodd will be in touch with you too. She's our director of e-learning and can help you think about that if you're interested. Course expectations. Really take some time and read it, especially this advice piece here, because in the beginning, sometimes people get a little bit overwhelmed and they're looking at all that's being presented, because remember, like John Holt said, my job is to provide this rich menu, this rich beauty of options to choose from. And so self-directed learners will think they have to drink it all or eat it all, and you don't. So my recommendation is to do what makes sense for your learning goals, unless you're taking it for graduate credit, and you have to do everything I recommend. But you're in the driver's seat. And so what I want you to do is to make sure that you're getting what you need out of the course. And that's not an excuse to not do anything, because none of us are as good as all of us, and we need each other. There's only 7 people in this course, so we're going to need each other to participate. But it just means in terms of all the resources that I share with you, you don't have to do it all if you don't want to. Course goals, take a look at those. This is kind of what I hope to accomplish out of the course. And if you have something that you wanted to accomplish that isn't here, let me know, and we'll make sure that we go back over it. You can see the standards that I have there for the course. This is the time commitment. So take a look at that so you can kind of see how much time you should be spending on the course, the expectations, and then the course assignments are kind of laid out here. Haven't put the due dates in yet. I will do that. I usually like to meet with everybody, get a feel for what's going on in your lives right now before we set some firm dates. So, but we'll be putting those in. No, don't stress over it. The next page is what should we be doing, and that of course is linked from the weekly page. So this weekly topics, we'll always have that what should we be doing linked. So, but if you can't, for some reason, can't remember, you can always come to the pages and know that each week will be right here. There is cheat sheet you'll be using this week, and then the course assignment page, which will be linked from other places as well. So if you want to know about the course assignments, these pages will grow. They only show 10, which is why I have it numbered. So if you want to get to 11, 12, 13, you need to click on View All. Right now we only have 6, but once it gets past 10, you'll have to do that. Probably the most important area for you to know is, if you scroll down, is the discussion forum. And this is where we will be having discussions. Now, the comment wall is for shout outs, not for answering the discussions. The discussions are for answering the discussions. And here's how you do that. So one of the things that's going to happen is you can come straight to the discussions and work in here, or, and I always put a week 1, week 2, week 3, so you know what you're doing, or you can go to the What Should I Be Doing page, and it will always have the discussions linked for you here too on what you should be doing. So you can get to it in either way. There's also a tag, and the tag will pull you to that week's discussions. So you can see, because I used a week 1 tag, all of them are right here. So the best place to find the discussions is going to be in What I Should Be Doing. But if you're the type of person that just wants to dig in and get started without reading a lot of directions, you can just scroll down to the discussion forum, and that's where the discussions are going to be. You want to weigh in on each of these this first time. You won't always weigh in on all the discussions. You'll get to pick and choose. This first go round, if you could do all 5, some of them only take a couple seconds, like choosing you, the online instructor. You're just going to be choosing which week you want to participate as co-teaching with me, and co-head of learning, co-facilitator. But the others will take a few minutes for you to kind of think about. And so there's 4 of them over the course of the next 7 days. So if you could spend some time there, that would be great. So that's the basics of how you get around in the course. You'll be able to see who the members are here as they join. You can view all. You can send a message to the group if you need to. Whatever you need to do, like if you can't make it to a webinar or something, you don't want to tell just me, you can go in here and tell the group. But whatever you need to do. So this is how you get in the course. All right. See you online.